I'm Kerrie Stanley.
And I'm Dolly Diamond.
And welcome to Kerrie and Dolly's house party.
Oh, welcome everybody, wherever you may be watching. We're all around the world, aren't we?
Well, we are global.
Global.
Oh, that's fancy.
We are.
It's fancy, isn't it?
Oh, we are so excited, though. Everything about this day, for me, from the very morning, went wrong. So I'm imagining that the night's just going to go off like a frog in a sock.
And hopefully not the streaming go off.
No.
There'll be none of that.
No. It'll be
We've done that
crossed.
only once, and we don't need to do that
Yes,
again.
and we got rid of him, didn't we?
He's
No.
still
Oh,
here.
awkward. No, but we are in a good mood, and wherever you're watching, we love it. Really love it when you send us a message. That way we know you're out there and you've not nodded off. And as last Thursday, our show went for 9 hours. It was all really good stuff,
It was
wasn't it?
pretty good. We just kept chatting. Our guests
did.
kept chatting. It kept
But they were
going.
amazing guests.
It was
It's not our
fabulous.
fault, is it?
No, we can't help it that only the best people come on our show.
Exactly right. Well, not tonight, obviously. No, it is. It really is. But where are you? I don't know where you're watching. We're on Victoria Together. We're on Joy. We're on Midsummer. We're on Queer Film and our own.
I'm just going to quickly say a big congratulations to Melbourne Queer Film Festival. They won an award, yay, for the Time Out, Time In Awards, and it was, I must read it, the Best Virtual Experience. And to celebrate, they're going to have a little movie night on Saturday night, playing the movie Pride.
Oh, it's
so
such
jump
a
onto
good
their Facebook
movie.
page.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
You've watched the last 11 minutes.
It was
of
actually on SBS on the weekend, and when we were away, we were having a little time out and popped on the telly late at night. And I'd not seen the movie before, and it was only the last like half an hour of which I watched, which I kind of got it, but I'd like to watch the rest of it. So
You've got the idea. Yeah.
so-
Well, I want to know, and we'll get into this a little later. Have you ever just watched a little bit of a movie? I would never watch a movie if it's not from the very beginning. It's the only thing that is weird about me.
Speechless.
All right, we need.
We're shaking things up tonight, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, so
We are.
for those of you lovely, loyal viewers, I know there's lots of you out there, we have a little format. No, out the window tonight.
Gone.
We're changing it up.
We listened. We got your emails and your complaints, and we listened.
We got all your notes.
Yes.
No, there were none.
And what we thought we'd do is we'd open it up with some music, and this beautiful young lady I love her, absolutely love her, and I reckon you will as well, the very talented Danielle Matthews.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever. Hold one up and then caress it. Touch it, stroke it and undress it. I can see every part, nothing hides in the heart to hurt me. I don't need love. For what good will love do me? Diamonds never lie to me. For when love's gone, they lost run. Diamonds are forever, sparkling round my finger.
That is
Wow.
how you do it. In the lounge, just sitting down, relaxed. What a voice.
Bam.
Imagine going to a real venue, and we will, again, another
Eventually
day.
we will, but
yes.
wow, Danielle, amazing.
She is the best.
So if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Yes. We welcome everybody.
Sit down, relax.
Yeah, so for the next 3 hours, we'll have
No!
we'll have your attention. So yeah, we're shaking things up a little bit tonight, but we still have another song from Danielle coming later on in the show. Yeah. Fabulous drag queen extraordinaire Filla will be joining us soon.
Best.
And who else we got? Oh, lots. But we do like to bring you some news with a little bent twist. So coming to their lounge room, to your lounge room, to ours, welcome Judy.
Thanks, Kerrie. Thanks, Dolly. Good evening. I'm Judy Kelly from Joy News for Kerrie and Dolly's house party with an optimist's bent on what's making news this week. First, today's positive COVID-19 stat. Australia has recorded fewer than 20 new cases in a day since May 16th, a run of 25 days. A shortlist has been released with 6 concept designs for a permanent memorial to victims and survivors of historical gay hate crimes in Sydney. ACON have worked with local councils since 2016 on the Bondi Memorial public artwork, which will become a symbol of remembrance and healing. Community feedback on the shortlisted designs is open via the Waverley Council website. 5 large-scale arts projects across Victoria will be supported by the state's Creative Activation Fund, which aims to harness creativity to connect communities, boost cultural tourism and create jobs. Art will feature locally inspired open-air galleries in regional Victoria, plus digital installations in metropolitan regions, including an app-based reality tour visiting culturally significant Indigenous sites in Fitzroy. The LGBTI Health Alliance has released some key findings from its recent Employable Q survey, which explored inclusion and access for people with disability in LGBTI organisations. Issues included workplace culture and attracting people with a disability to organisations. The outcome was recommendations for more consultation with staff and more education on ableism and invisible disabilities. Agricultural show organisers around the country have been forced to scale back or cancel events due to the pandemic. But one regional radio station in Queensland decided that the format could be adapted into a virtual event. ABC Wide Bay used the Theatre of Radio to host a 4-hour show for communities whose local events had been cancelled. Included were the standards, baking, crafts, wood chopping, and even a showgirl competition. To the United States, where a 99-year-old transgender woman is trying to fundraise $1 million to grant the wishes of LGBTI seniors and homeless people who have suffered discrimination because of their sexuality or gender identity. Robina Asti is a World War II veteran, an active flight instructor, and the founder of the Cloud Dancers Foundation. Before she turns 100 next year, Asti's wish is to see the successful launch of her foundation to let others who feel invisible know that we see you. And finally, a Romanian shoemaker has used his skills to encourage people to adhere to social distancing measures. Grigor Lup from the Transylvanian city of Cluj created long-nosed leather shoes in a size 75 to help keep people apart. 2 people standing toe-to-toe in the shoes would be 1.5 metres apart. So far, Lup has received 5 orders for his social distancing shoes. That's the latest from Joy TV News for Tuesday, June the 9th. I've been Judy Kelly. Now it's back to Kerrie and Dolly's house party.
Oh, Judy.
Where would we be without her? We say that every episode.
I don't know, though.
We would be clueless.
Oh, I know everything I need to know because Judy told me so.
Absolutely.
What we need, though, really is someone to do the weather.
Ooh.
a private joke which we never would ever do again. We're excited, a little bit excited, because when we go out, in the old days when we used to go out,
Yes.
we would frequent lots of boozers, bars, if you like, and this next act was always on, wasn't she?
Yes.
Amazing. If you are ever lucky enough to venture along to Geelong, there is a venue in Geelong called the Piano Bar. They've actually got multiple venues all over now. They were Ballarat and many. Look them up, because it's the Piano Bar in Geelong. And this next act performs there. You can go and see this next act. And many others. I believe, actually, did you get the rumour that Filla and Art are getting back together?
Yes, the famous duo back together again.
Last.
But Polly was also...
You've revealed who it is.
oh, did you
No, you're allowed. Polly Filla is on the way.
never tell me a secret?
I know.
Sorry.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
But the Piano Bar has opened. Yay, one of the venues that have opened their doors
Yes.
again. But bookings can be made online. They're doing dinner and show packages every night. How amazing. And then high teas on the weekend.
Audiences of 20, I believe.
get
but
in
they're
early.
still online. They're one of the venues that has been live streaming every night since this all began.
There are 75 shows, I think.
Unbelievable.
a lot of
Andy Pogjoy and the lovely Aaron Little, and they are incredible, and we send them our love. And this next performer works there a great deal. I've done gigs there. It is, go there. It is worth it. But they're going to perform for us now. It is the one and only Polly Filla.
Pretty legs, great big knockers. That's what sells them tickets at the door. Pretty legs, great big knockers. Honey, these are real showstoppers. That's what keeps them coming back for more. They love these pretty legs, great big knockers. That's what makes them spend a little more. It ain't the ballads, it ain't the rockers, it's pretty legs and great big knockers. That's what keeps them coming back for more. I'll never forget it, you know. My boyfriend Ernie and his best friend Louie used to sit on the front porch of the rest home all day long. And I used to get all dressed up and parade in front of them, just trying to get a rise out of Ernie. One day I decided to surprise them both. I wore absolutely nothing. Louie turned to Ernie. Say, what's Soph got on today? I don't know, says Ernie, but it sure needs ironing. I'll never forget it, you know. My boyfriend Ernie was away on retreat, searching for his inner child, when I discovered I was in need of physical attention. So I rushed on down to the Saints Be Praised nursing home, where I can still turn a head or two. Sure enough, decrepit old Mr. Cornfeld said to me, Soph, tonight's the night we have relations. Well, we had 'em, and we were laying in bed afterwards, basking in the afterglow. He said to me, Soph, if I had known you were a virgin, I would have been so much more gentle with you. And I said, well, if I had known you could still get it up, I would have taken off my pantyhose. Forget it, you know. My boyfriend Ernie said to me, Soph, if you could learn to cook, we could fire the chef. I said, Ernie, if you could learn to fuck, we could fire the chauffeur. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. Oh, England, England. I hear the cream clotting even as I speak. Well, you knew the colonies were going to come back and bite you on the ass someday, didn't you? All right, ladies, prepare. One from the vault.
Oh,
This next one is one of the biggest jokes of my career. It's notorious all around the world. People know it. You might even know it. Ready, girls? Okay. I'll never forget it, you know. I was having tea one time with my girlfriend Clementine. The doorbell rang. There was a delivery boy there with 2 dozen roses. I opened the card. It said, love, from your boyfriend Ernie. I said, Clementine, do you know what this means? For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be flat on my back with my legs wide open. Clementine said to me, what's the matter with you? Ain't you got a vase? Pretty lady, great big knocker. I move for the 2 and 2 by 4. Oh, it ain't the balance, it ain't the rockers, it's pretty legs and great big knockers. That's what keeps them coming back. That's what keeps them coming back. That's what keeps them coming back for more.
Oh, Polly, that was fantastic.
Really great.
Yeah, she's so good.
Really, really
good to see her performing again, and yeah, amazing.
Yes, well, that is the venue. That was live, well, it was, live-ish on the night in the venue, and it's a beautiful venue. I know we've already done it, but you must go and book. You've got to book, haven't you?
Yes, I want to say a quick hi and shout out to our Sydney correspondent, Dan Murphy. He's
Where is
watching in Sydney.
Oh,
And watching with Paul and Scott. Hi, boys.
Paul and Scott. We're willing to say hello to anybody. We are that. No, it's innocent.
You might be.
Oh, really? I'll do more than a hello. All of a sudden, I've turned into Minnie Cooper. But it's innocent message, and we'll read it out. We want to say hello to Catherine and Ryan because they said we look nice.
Yes.
Hey, the rest of you.
Yeah, just give us a compliment and we'll be like anyone.
That's all we need, isn't it?
No.
It's a Tuesday.
Well done.
Oh, we need all the compliments we can get on a Tuesday.
Well, we actually had a really relaxing, long weekend. So,
Yes.
Kerrie, I can't even say my name.
We did. We were away.
Dolly.
We were
That'd be
away.
us. We now talk about ourselves in the third person.
Yes. I've been doing that for years. Who am I?
Split personality. Well, I actually said to your other half, Michael,
Oh, right.
when we were at lunch, because we went away. It was Lexi, myself, and yourself, and lovely Dean, our community darling. We went to Dalesford for the weekend.
Beautiful.
It
Wow.
was amazing. We had such a lovely, lovely time. But I actually said to Dolly's other half, Michael, at lunch on the Monday, I went, I've learnt something about you. I went, you actually don't talk very much. And no.
Luckily, I do.
Yes. And I was like, because generally we've been mates for a very, very long time. But a lot of the
Since
time
we
it's,
were
yes, and that.
on
and,
our knees.
Yeah, you.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, well, you owe me then. We are now ready for our community
I like how you
darling.
pulled that right back in, didn't you?
So did.
Yay.
The one and only Dean Arcuri.
Hello, Kerrie and Dolly. How are you?
What a joyous homo he is.
Oh, that's all we needed, wasn't it?
That's it.
Oh,
Could you find a bigger homo than me? I don't think so.
No.
No.
I don't think so either.
well versed in it, aren't you? Well versed.
Years of
But we love
practice,
that. We
years of
love that,
practice.
don't we?
We do. That's why we have you with us in our little family.
Oh, we had a lovely, lovely weekend, didn't we?
It was so wonderful to kick back and relax and take it easy. And sure, it's been a crazy Tuesday ever since, but what a wonderful way to just take it easy and walk around and just, I loved it.
We certainly contributed to the economy of Dalesford.
Yes.
And we ate and drank our way around that beautiful little town. And
Oh, they looked
Yes, we
after us,
did.
didn't they?
and they sure did. And you got many bottles of gin, I believe, to keep you going. through
Look,
the
I
winter
believe
months.
in supporting the economy in whatever way I can, and that's the way I'm going to do it.
Fabulous.
We went along, we had a tasting. Oh, it was lovely. And the lovely lady that served us, she said, now this is the navy chin. It is really, really strong, and I want I want to watch you try to swallow.
She gave me instructions on how to swallow.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, please, Dolly, don't bring this up on the show on Tuesday
No.
night.
No, you know me, I would
you are.
never, I'd rather cut out my tongue. Oh, but I wanted to
It's
film
always
it.
good to have a refresher.
Yes. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
you've been an ISO doll, so you never know.
Yes.
Got to keep those skills up.
Oh, well, you did the Navy very, very proud. You really did. Navy gin. Oh, now what is on tonight, my love?
Well, tonight I thought I'd touch base with one of the wonderful events that's been streaming online while in ISO. It's Gay Life Drawing Melbourne, and they did regular events every month at Hares and Hyenas and have transitioned to being online. And now they're thinking when they can go back to Hares and Hyenas, they're going to include the online into it. So I know restrictions are lifting for a lot of people, but I think it's great that we've still got this virtual online space and that we're celebrating the great work that people are doing.
It is indeed, isn't it?
Would you model for them, Dean?
I have modelled for them before, and the thing I learned really quickly was really think about your positions in advance, because the problem is you think of something ridiculous like 1 foot up, and then you're stuck like that for 8 minutes, and you don't think about, and then suddenly you just can't move. There was another time at the end of that session, I thought I'll do a position where I'm lying on the ground. And I fell asleep. So yeah, I'm a great model. If you want someone to just lie there, I'm your man. In fact, you'll see some of my modelling in this clip.
Oh!
I would wonder
With a fig leaf and the,
Well, it's more like a rosemary bush. But yeah. All right, we better go to the footage.
Bye, darling.
Bye, beautifuls.
When you think of life drawing, what comes to mind? There's someone in the buff or in the nude, standing around while people giggle and do some doodles, right? Well, it's actually a lot more than that. It's about body positivity, artistic expression, and the celebration of oneself. That's what I learnt while taking part in Melbourne's Gay Life Drawing, which has been going for 2 years.
It all happened through a conversation with some fellow artists, friends of mine, where queer artists, they came to me and they sort of said, you know what, we don't really have a safe space that we can work as a sort of community and have live models pose for us. It's always been this thing about this feeling of like isolated in their own studio or their own office, resulting to looking online.
He answered that call from queer artists, creating a monthly event that gives our communities a safe space to learn, express and celebrate. Alright, clearly I should stick to finger painting. Let's find out how it all came about.
The idea sort of came from going to Hares Hyenas and just finding just such an inviting, queer-friendly place. And the fact that they do shows and the whole place transforms into like a sort of like a little club, a place to get together and have performances and all that. Thought, well, why can't we do this with drawing as well? And
people started attending with a variety of different skill levels and abilities.
That's always been what I get the most out of these sessions, is seeing artists, or just, curious cats, as I like to call them, wanting to attend and just give it a go, seeing them having a good time and trying something that's a little out of their usual comfort zone.
Part of that comfort zone included the type of models that people were drawing. And while it might be called Gay Life Drawing in the title, it's most definitely a celebration of what it means to be queer, with trans, queer and non-binary models of different genders, ethnicities and body types.
Sort of mid last year, we decided to do a session portraying of Barbarella, and we had a non-binary model, their name is Them Fatale, pose for us. And just to give you a perspective, all right, like say we had a session with, a big chunky muscular model and all that, and everyone wants to come check out and draw all the shapes, get a big sellout, This was one where we had a non-binary model as Barbarella, and we had the biggest sellout last year. That was a big deal, and it was such an awesome night, such a positive night.
When COVID restrictions hit, events could no longer take place at Hares and Hyenas, but after some thinking, Jean-Luc transferred them to an online platform so that people could still practice their artistic styles and celebration of diverse bodies on Zoom.
At first, I was a little unsure if it'll work, because again, a huge part of what makes Gay Life Drawing is that lovely camaraderie of being in a group and being in a space. And I thought, well, we can make this work. We're seeing performances happening through Zoom, then we can have a life drawing session happen too.
And they've had 5 successful sessions via Zoom, where the models have been posing in their homes and everyone is drawing what they can see while continuing to physically distance. In a normal session, they'd organise all the poses beforehand, but the model's ideas and vision has become as much a part of the Zoom life drawing sessions as everything else, and the same can be said for the artists as well, and the engagement and interaction that they're all sharing online.
If we were in a space in person, you know, we're getting that sort of sense, like, you know, you just almost want to grab the screen, give everyone a nice little hug at the end. And we're all there, we're all talking, just like you and me right now.
Yes, some restrictions are starting to lift, but virtual streaming events like Gay Life Drawing, where you're a part of what's happening, are still really, really important, not just for the artists or for COVID guidelines, but for all of our sense of community and connectiveness as well.
I've had a few artists that have attended over the last couple of years. I've actually seen that timeline of when they started to where they are now, and it's been an incredible improvement in their skills that they've just picked up from just being there and attending.
Coming up in the next session, Archie Arsenic, a fabulous non-binary artist, will be posing, and then the next model will be all the way from America, the fantastic Big Dipper. Going virtual during COVID has taught John Luke that when restrictions ease and they can head back to Hares and Hyenas, they can still create a way for people to be a part of the life drawing sessions, even though they aren't actually in the room.
Been having all these great connections with artists interstate and overseas. They're all like, oh, well, when things go back to normal, that means we won't be doing this anymore, you know? And I'm like, well, there'll still be a way. We'll work it out. And I think this will be the thing. This will be just a thing of the norm.
Kerrie and Dolly, thank you so much for coming to the Dalesford Hotel. Look, and the gang, sorry, there was Dean and Sexy Galaxy as well. It's been a bit tough. We were closed, but now we're open, and I'd love to see you all down here to support us. You've always been our fans, and we're your fans. Cheers from the Dalesford Hotel.
Do I look all right?
Sorry.
Do you need
You
to
look
think
like a bunch of words.
There you go. Well, there's the lovely Emery. We had the best time in Dalesford, didn't we? It was wonderful.
did.
It was so looked after.
Yeah, it was lovely.
But well done, Dean. A lovely, lovely story.
So that sketch that he did of him
Then-
drawing himself, slightly lost it.
My mate, Mr. Jelly, that worked with Julian, does that life modelling and loves it. I don't know, I don't think I could do it. I couldn't stand that long and shut my mouth.
No, that's true.
You'd
One
be
of our
rubbish.
lovely viewers, Gabriella, saying, I have been an artist model.
Wow. I think it'd be interesting.
It would be.
Yes.
I think holding that pose for long would be
Oh,
a
it'd be
treat.
awful. Get cramp. It would.
Well, you get one just sitting on the couch, honey.
Oh,
so,
I know.
Now, what's happening next week? Tell everyone. It's very
Well,
exciting.
we are very excited because a little while ago we wanted to get this going. We want to have what we're doing now signed, and we're about to get that going as of next week, isn't it?
Absolutely.
With our friends from Expression Australia. Expressions, is it?
Yes, Expressions
With an
Australia.
S on the end, Expressions Australia. They'll be joining us next week, which we're really excited
Yeah,
about.
so every episode is going to be Auslan interpreted.
Yes.
Amazing. So somewhere down in here.
I think it will be down there. won't
There.
it? Yeah.
That's where they'll be
Yes.
sitting. But joining us now is the language specialist from Expression Australia, introducing to you Stef Linder. Hello, Stef.
Hello. How are you both?
Very well.
Very well, thank you. And Steph, would you like to introduce your role and who you have interpreting for you today?
Sure, happy to. So look, I'm going to talk to you today, I guess, from a language and linguistic perspective. I have a couple of different hats that I wear in the deaf community. But today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about interpreting, and I do some of that work myself. And I'm going to talk about language, about Auslan, and about how we use that as a community language.
Firstly, Steph, so I've just got here. So you're the deaf interpreter in the Auslan Connections Emergency Media Interpreting Team. I wanted to read that off verbatim, so I got that correct. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, good question. So you'll probably have seen a lot of interpreters around in the media, and we would say that they are hearing interpreters, so interpreters that can hear, and they work out in the community in a wide range of settings. Usually, a hearing interpreter may work alone, but in an emergency situation and in a serious situation where there are lots of very dense information to convey, and that we are trying to convey these very complex and urgent matters to a lot of people, we will often work with a deaf interpreter. And that deaf interpreter, we find, has the ability to convey language to a lot of people who have different language needs. So they may be older people, they might be deaf immigrants that are new to Australia in English and learning Auslan, Australian Sign Language. A lot of deaf people, or interpreters rather, will learn Auslan in a formal setting, but deaf people grow up using language. They experience the world differently, and a deaf interpreter brings a different skill set, and the way they express language is different to a hearing interpreter. So if I was working in an emergency setting, I would work in a team with a hearing interpreter. We would arrive together, and then, as you might see, often the person relaying that emergency information works off a script. It's not something that they follow word by word. And what will happen is the hearing interpreter will then relay to me what's being said, and then the deaf interpreter will really unpack that information and put it in a much more visual way that is more appropriate for a wider deaf audience.
We've been wanting to do this for a little while, and we're absolutely thrilled, aren't we?
Yes.
That you're going to be joining us as of next week for each and every episode. Very excited about that. But I must admit, I've been a little naughty over the years, and I've done it on my own, and I've been working with Luke Gallagher, and we've been performing, and they always ask for our lyrics in advance. And we often forget the lyrics, or we make up our own. And I wondered, is that really difficult? I would imagine it is. And I apologise on behalf of myself and definitely Luke Gallagher. But is that a difficult situation to be in, or what other difficult situations have you encountered?
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people assume that interpreters, we can read minds. But unfortunately, that is not true. And I'm sure that when you're doing a theatrical performance or any kind of performance, you have a bit of a rehearsal. You don't necessarily just make it up as you go.
Sorry.
She laughed. Stop it.
Sometimes she does.
Oh, I'm very, very, very professional.
Well, interpreters are the same. We're often in that situation where we have to just do it on the spot. If we're not given any script or any preparation, then, I guess the interpreter will do what they can. But unfortunately, I'd say with the least amount of preparation, it might not be as good as it could be if the interpreter had a bit more information in advance.
That's a very good answer.
Very, very good answer. Is it a stressful job?
Well, I guess it can be. I think because you're working with two different audiences, really. And if I look at Maxine at the moment, I would sign to her quite differently, I guess, to how I would, talk to just deaf friends or how I'm talking to interpreters. And Maxine has to, take that information in and really unpack it and then put it into English and vice versa going the other way. So, I think, interpreters, they have to think on the run. They have to be ready to adapt because they are working in those two languages. And not just two languages, too. We have different cultures, I think, as hearing and deaf people. And I think, interpreters will try not to transliterate word for word, but try and think of a really good message equivalent. And that takes a little bit of unpacking and brain energy.
Well, that's me out. That's me out straight away. I wonder, what would you like our audience, any audience, to know? What would be your message you'd want to get out there? I ask this as I'm an ambassador for Guide Dogs Victoria, and I asked after doing one of their installations, I asked what they would want everyone to know, and I found it really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think, we're in a really fortunate time at the moment. Interpreters in Auslan has become fashionable, if you like. But I remember, years ago, we had to fight for space. We had to fight to be seen, to put Auslan on the television or on the radar or on the internet or wherever it may well be. I think one of the things that, has been perhaps a little bit disappointing is that the focus has been on the people, so on the interpreters, and not necessarily on the language or on the community and why are interpreters there in the first place. It's not about interpreters being celebrities. It's about the community that they represent. And so I think it's really important to, if you're talking about Auslan and about deaf community and culture, that we need to invite deaf people to be part of that conversation. And just like you wouldn't ask, a straight person to talk about what it's like to be queer, you wouldn't ask a white person to talk about the, black people's experience. It's kind of, we can make comparisons there. Deaf people have a valuable lived experience and they bring a valuable perspective, which should be right at the heart of the conversations.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, what a great answer.
That was a really good answer.
Really great answer.
Yep, that
and what
absolutely.
a wonderful, wonderful addition you'll make to what we do as of next week. We are very grateful that both of you could be with us tonight. Very grateful.
Well, thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All the best. Bye.
Oh, yay. We are really looking forward to the team from Expression Australia joining us from next week.
Yes.
Do you know, when I was a wee young girl, one of our family friends, mum and dad, one of their sons was born deaf and about 80% vision. Anyway, so as kids, we were taught to sign, so he was the same age. I remember kind of alphabet and a few things now, but yeah, we could sign quite proficiently.
Not the easiest language,
no,
is it? Like any language, really.
Yeah, so it was, that'll be really nice. I remembered thank you, I remembered that. That was good. Right.
You don't use it very much. We would now like, apparently there's a bit of a group going round that's all about their bins, taking the bins out. I've seen a few of them. I doubt I've seen anyone better than this. Danielle Matthews is back.
Smells.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
That's one of the funniest ones I've seen.
The best. And there's no surprising it's the best, because it's the one and only Danielle Matthews.
Thank you, guys. It's really nice to be here.
Well, you look gorgeous in isolation.
Do I?
Yes.
I suppose it's working. It's treating you well.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I don't know about that. To be honest, I literally, I thought, I better make a bit of an effort and have a shower and, do all those things. But to be honest, all I sort of did was just add a little bit of gel to the hair, smack on a bit of makeup and, just faking it a little bit, to be honest.
We know that.
It's coming across all right.
We don't wear much makeup either. No.
Well, yeah, you should see me from here downwards. It's probably... of course, you had to take it.
We have been asking everyone that's been joining us, Danny, how has isolation been treating you and what have you been doing to cope and to get through it?
Well, yes, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Isolation for me, it's like there's no middle ground for me in isolation. It's either elation or rock bottom. It seemed there wasn't much in between. I was either just sort of loving it and going, this is amazing. I can be creative and I can play and, I've got time to reflect and I've got time to think, or I'm literally just on the floor going, 2020 sucks. Basically, there wasn't a lot of middle ground, I'd have to say. It's like everything's heightened. I don't know if you felt like that. Just every little thing, I'd drop a pencil one day and I'd cry about it, and I don't really know why. But yeah, so interesting. But what I did was, I just felt like I needed to be creative, basically, and in a way that suited me, that I could just play, and it didn't really matter what the outcome was. And so I found this wonderful bin isolation outing group, which you've probably heard about, where the whole premise was that in lockdown you've got nothing to do, you've got nowhere to go except for the front lawn to take out your bin. So why not make the most of it? Why not dress up and take a picture of yourself? And I saw this and I thought, well, why not do a musical extravaganza with the bin? I mean, why not? So I've Celine Dion'd the bin, I've dirty danced the bin, I've done a bit of Shirley Bassey with my bin, and lo and behold, it's sort of taken off around the world. Who would have believed it?
I know.
I've developed really quite a love for my bin, which I didn't expect would happen in 2020. I had genuine feelings.
I don't know if it's over, if there are any more bin numbers in you, but you and Susan Ann Walker would be an amazing duet. I know bin so well. Would be very...
That's a good one. I've also had, I've been to Paradise, but I've never been to me suggested. That's another great one. Yes, well, Susan Ann and I, we both have sort of gotten on the bin wagon, the bandwagon, the bin wagon, as it were. And, I would just say to people, stay tuned because there might be a bit of bin action happening.
You've got a whole new career.
Wow.
I know.
Pop that on the CV.
Yes.
Bin lover.
Absolutely. Yes. Who would have thought that, all these wonderful opportunities would come out of a bin?
I know.
Well, thank you for making us laugh and for showing another side to your amazing talents.
An amazing voice.
Amazing voice. And you're going to do one more number for us now, and we look forward to hearing that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, long, long way from home. And I'm trying to get out of the darkness that encloses me. Gotta figure out a way. Who's got a shoulder when I need to cry? I feel restless and I don't know why. Cry for help but still feel alone, like a motherless child a long way from home. Lord, I'm lost, I can't find my way. I'm dealing with my struggles in my day-to-day. My soul is weak and I want to be strong. I try to run but I've been running too long. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Long, long way from
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Danielle
time.
Matthews, you are incredible and beautifully backed there by Sarah Baxter, or Roland, as she prefers to be known as. And the very gorgeous Jamie Lawson, Philippa. Oh, I tell you, you must be proud of that man. Nobody blows like how Jamie. That was absolutely gorgeous. Danielle Matthews, mwah!
Yeah, that was absolutely stunning. There's actually a couple of comments on here, Gabrielle. It's like fabulous performance, and the trumpeter is excellent. Absolutely, yeah.
Cornet.
Incredible. All right, you know what's also
Amazing.
we've got to keep moving on because
Yes.
it's a busy show. Well, it's time for Mama Alto's Midsummer Moments.
As we have covered in our past two Midsummer Moments, there are so many aspects of Midsummer. One of the most important is our Open Access program, which means that anyone who has a show, project, event, exhibition or community event can be a part of our 22-day festival each summer. In 2020 we had 194 events take place as part of Midsummer Festival, with involvement by over 5,000 artists and culture makers in over 100 different venues across Melbourne and wider Victoria, to anticipated audiences of over 261,806 patrons. This would not be possible without the amazing artists, community leaders, venues, and all arts workers that contribute to our Open Access program. If you are interested in being involved, keep your eye on the Midsummer website and socials, as registrations for our Open Access program will be opening on Tuesday 16th of June. We will also be streaming information sessions about the steps to get to your final product and to provide some helpful advice along the way. We are so looking forward to 2021 when our communities can once again come together and really celebrate. With so many events on offer each year through our Open Access program, there really is something, in fact many somethings, for everyone. We encourage you to go through the program guide, sticky notes and calendar in hand, once we launch the program guide later this year, and pick which of your local venues, groups and artists you'll be supporting during the festival. Let's make 2021 a true celebration of all of our wonderful queer events and support queer arts in all its glory. Midsummer Festival is Australia's premier queer arts and cultural festival, bringing together a diverse mix of LGBTQIA+ artists, performers, communities and audiences, and we would love to have you join us for 2021.
Des yeux qui font pas à la mienne, Henri qui se perce sa bouche, voilà la portrait sans retouche de la femme auquel je partirai. Quand elle me prend dans ses bras, elle me parlait tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Elle me dit des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Elle est entrée de mon cœur, on n'est pas de bonheur, dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Elle me dit la journée pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, allonge son en moi, mon cœur qui bat. I thought that love was just a word they sang about in songs I heard. It took your kisses to reveal that I was wrong and love is real. Hold me close and hold me fast, that magic spell you cast. This is love beyond rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see love beyond rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be loving on rose.
The very lovely Ruth Katerelos, and you can donate. Ruth's got a PayPal. Donate now.
As do all of our artists tonight.
All of them.
Comments are in all their PayPal details are in our comments and feedback, etc. Now, we saw this amazing performer earlier doing the fabulous Bette Midler, but we want to see more from Polly Filla and chat to Polly Filla. So, are you there, Polly Filla?
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Oh, it's so good seeing you. I mean, we've been seeing a bit of you online.
Yes.
Doing your various gigs, all in ISO and remotely and so forth. But it's so lovely to see you and chat with you. How you doing, honey?
Thank you. Oh, I'm good. I mean, I'm wearing a character. It's the only thing that fits at the moment. You know what it's like, $8.
It didn't take long, did it?
No,
No,
straight
it's
in
only
it.
been on not even a minute.
Straight in
Not
there.
even a minute.
I'm a lady of leisure. I've got my hair down. I've got Pomeranians arriving. I bought them on eBay. They're on their way. So, yeah.
Well, you are one of those that will never lie down for long.
Unfortunately, I'm harder to get rid of than syphilis.
Till the money runs out. But are you doing all right? I know you're working now. It has not been easy, has it?
You know what? I went through some really unexpected changes, and it really took me by surprise. Probably about the week, because I'm from New Zealand, so I was following what was happening over there a lot and kind of taking direction from there because they were a lot more sort of proactive than the government here. And so when they announced that they were going to start heading into stage 4 lockdown, which was like everyone has to stay at home, I think the only things that were open were Bunnings Warehouse and the supermarket. I ran around like a banshee to all the fabric shops, and I was like, if I'm going to be locked up, I'm making myself some frocks.
Yes.
And strangely enough, we didn't go to level 4, which I thought was interesting. So all of those fabric shops stayed open. So anyway, and I was like, right, I'm going to do shows, I'm going to do stuff, and then that first week where they started announcing different rules every day.
Yes.
I just went like this, and I ended up in bed for a week. Basically, I wasn't answering the phone. I wasn't responding to messages. I was like, just put the blanket over my head until it's sorted, because I can't deal with the game, the field changing constantly.
No.
And then after that, I kind of was fine. I settled into like, okay, well, all right, this is it. This is the new normal for a while. And then probably about 2 to 3 weeks in, I got really, really depressed. Like, I live by myself. I'm single. So just not having any contact, basically, with anyone. It sort of, I went into a bit of a weird place in my head. But again, just got into bed, put the cover over my head.
Yeah.
Came up a week later.
When we began, this has been going now, is it 6 weeks or something? We've interviewed a lot of people, and that was a very honest response from a lot of people.
Yeah,
and allowing that to be all right, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's okay to talk about that, and everyone was willing and open to sharing it.
Yes.
Whether it be keeping off social media for a while, and that was absolutely fine, but ensuring that their mates were checking in on them and just going, I'm okay, but I'm just going to stay under the doona for a while. Okay, no worries. When you're ready, we're here.
What got you out of that?
Hard drugs. No, I'm kidding. Not really. No. I'm not someone who like falls over and stays over for long, and I'm a very proactive person. I found it was like riding along on a bicycle. You're like, right, I can, yep, cool, and then suddenly the wheel just falls off, and you go, and then you fall off sideways into a ditch, going, what the hell just happened? So I just sort of lay in the ditch for about a week, and then was like, all right, I'll get the bike off me, gone, and away you go. I think it just allows yourself to just be,
Yes, you're allowing it. You're exactly right. Allowing it, realising it, and getting back on the bike, isn't it?
Back on the bike. And honey, you've got another number for us. Tell us a little bit about this final one for us tonight.
Which one is it?
It's the Storybook Theatre.
Oh, right. Okay. So this is a really exciting number. I started doing it about 18 years ago.
Wow.
So
you must be a child.
Well, I'm only 19 now, so there you go. So it's a spoken word lip sync by an amazing comedian called Gilda Radner. She actually was married to Gene Wilder, who was Willy Wonka and in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
And she passed of cancer. But before she recorded this amazing live concert called Gilda Radner Live in New York. And this is a piece called Emily Litella. So I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, look, we will.
I know we will.
And you're doing some weekly things off and on at the Piano Bar still, live streaming, which is wonderful to see you back there. And we can't wait to see you in the flesh.
Live and
whenever that may be. Yes. Hopefully soon.
Yes.
Well done,
I'm looking
my
forward
darling.
to it too.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thanks
for
chatting.
joining us.
That's all right. Absolutely. My pleasure.
Bye, darling.
All right. Bye.
Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Miss Emily Latella. Miss Emily Latella. Now, this is my first time substitute teaching here at PS 164 in Bedford-Stuyvesant. And I'll be taking the place of your regular teacher, Mr. Hawks, until he recovers from his accident. I heard all about the stubbing, and it must have smarted his toe pretty badly if he had to be taken away in an ambulance. And I heard it was the third stubbing this week at this school. So mind your toes. Today, I'll be reading to you from this book, Tiny Kingdom. This is a wonderful book. Tiny Kingdom by Mrs. Elizabeth Wellesley. She's dead. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess who lived in a little, teeny tiny, itty bitty, little, teeny tiny castle. And one day, a handsome prince came riding by in a little, teeny, tiny, itty, bitty, little, teeny, tiny carriage. And the handsome prince and the beautiful princess fell in love and went off to live together in a little, teeny, tiny, itty, bitty, little, tiny kingdom. And on their wedding night, the princess found that the prince had a little, teeny, tiny, itty, bitty, little. Never mind.
Frozen. Oh.
Well, are we still on the air? Are we still on the air? We are. Thank goodness my legs were shut. What a night. We'd love to send our love to everybody watching. And we'll be back on, on
I so Polly, we were
Thursday.
thoroughly enjoying that.
Yes, very
Thank you so much.
nice.
We just had a moment of, oh dear, scaring of something else live, but that was... Anyway.
We've loved your company tonight. And we're sending our love to everybody that was on. Make sure you donate to all of those links. That would be lovely. But from Dolly...
And me, can we make sure this makes the package? Because that was pretty funny.
Well, I think I'm lucky my package didn't make the package. Bye-bye, everybody.
Can I see this?
Good night.